I'm going to be doing my last 5-person boot camp on Valentine's Day. You may not know this, but there's another holiday on Valentine's Day weekend, and it's called Desperation Day.
Loneliness. The looming specter of Valentine's Day fast approaching. The two key ingredients to my favorite day of the year, February 13th, Desperation Day.
That's not a thing.
It's a thing. Every woman wants a date on Valentine's Day. That neediness reaches its climax, on February 13th. A magical night when a 10 has the self-esteem of a 4 and the depraved enthusiasm of a 2.
So it is the easiest day in the year to pick up women because of that. And I'm kind of joking, I'm kind of not. The first time I ever got offered a threesome, and both of these girls were very hot, was on Desperation Day. That isn't something I can guarantee on this boot camp, but it is a very good weekend for going out to approach women, and I wanted to do one last 5-person boot camp. One of the most important things to be aware of is that my normal boot camps are $1,500. However, my 5-person boot camps are $500 less, so they're only $1,000. You get to go to this at a 33% discount. That's a very significant discount. So it's a lot less expensive than a normal boot camp. And instead of being 3 days, it's actually 4 days. So you get to go out with me for 4 hours every single day for 4 days. And I will also have an assistant helping me to make sure that everyone is getting a lot of attention, to make sure that everyone is making a lot of progress. So I'll have an assistant, so it's me, one other coach, and then 5 clients. If you want to know more about what kind of benefits you can expect from my boot camps, then I would make sure to check out the page I linked below. I have over 20 video testimonials down there, including things like how a guy lost his virginity on the boot camp.
First time I ever took Avery's boot camp, I actually just lost my virginity, which is like pretty eye-opening. I never thought I'd lose it to like a hot girl for like my first time. I'm just glad I got that reference, so that way I just know I have the ability to do it again.
How guys have had threesomes, that's happened multiple times. Actually, last weekend I had a boot camp where one of my clients had a threesome, the first threesome in his entire life. And part of what made this so crazy is he didn't even mention, he told me he pulled. He told me, yeah, I pulled. He didn't mention he pulled 2 girls. He just said he pulled and he got laid. He didn't mention it was a threesome. So that was pretty crazy to me that happened. At this point, roughly 40% of my bootcamp clients get laid during the bootcamp. And to keep in mind, most of the clients who take boot camps haven't gotten laid at all in a long time, in over a year. That's average, that's the norm. So most of them are people who are struggling to get results right now. And despite that, 40% of them, this is an estimate, I'm not saying exactly, but about 40% get laid on the boot camp. And that's awesome. Obviously, that's not guaranteed. Even if that doesn't happen, the clients who don't get laid, they tend to at least make out with a girl, have multiple dates, like go on multiple dates with a girl where a girl agrees to meet up with them at another time in a dating context, which is, if you can get that to happen, that's a very good sign that you're on the right track, and things of that nature. Like, they make a lot of progress. They do a lot of approaches. A lot of my clients have not approached a single girl since COVID. And yet, on the boot camp, they'll approach 75 women, 100 women, 150 women. That's entirely normal. So, look, are you guaranteed to have a threesome like the guy last weekend did? No, that is really cool when it happens. And of course, I'm very enthusiastic to ask for a testimonial if that does happen. But even if that doesn't happen, the standard success, the standard of results that you can expect are still incredible. And that's why I am happy to push these. I'm happy to really enthusiastically promote them, especially considering I'm only doing boot camps for 3 more months. So this is your last chance to do a boot camp with me through March. After March, I'm not doing boot camps anymore. It's not something I can keep doing while also building a second channel, while also doing, I have so many different spinning plates. The boot camps are great, but I will not keep doing them. If you've been considering taking a boot camp, but let's say the price was too much for you, or you just had been procrastinating on it, you've been thinking about doing it, but you just haven't felt like, oh, I need to pull the trigger now. Well, Now would be a good time to do that, to click the link below and schedule a free 15-minute call with me to talk about whether you're a good fit for this program, because they're not going to be available for much longer. And I will get sold out on all my boot camps before March. I will get sold out well before March. This particular boot camp, the one that is a 4-day boot camp with 5 clients and is only $1,000, that boot camp, you can expect it to be sold out very quickly, because every time I've done one of these special event boot camps where it's 5 people, they get sold out very quickly. Now, you might be wondering about some of the details. If you're not ready to click the link below and schedule a call with me, you might be wondering, okay, well, where is it? It's going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is the best place in the world for doing a boot camp, because there are hundreds, actually thousands of women in one single club. So we can go to a club like Omnia or a club like XS or whatever. We go to one club. That club will have 4,000 plus people in it. And that means you can approach hundreds of women in a very short amount of time. There is no limit to the amount of approaches you can do, which means you can learn incredibly quickly. I will see what happens in your approaches. I'll watch you approach a girl, see, oh, he went in too soft. He was just like, hi, how's it going? And then she didn't give you the time of day because you didn't mean it. And I'll call you out on that. And then I'll show you what you did. I'll do an approach just like you did. If it was a bad approach, I'll do the same approach. I'll go, hi, how's it going? And show you what it looks like. And then you'll see it and think, okay, I get it. That's why she didn't respond. That was not the best approach. Then I'll show you a better approach. I'll go up and approach with actual conviction. Hey, how's it going? Like, I'll mean it. I'll show you what it looks like to really approach a girl with conviction. You'll see the difference, and then it's going to be a lot easier to do a good approach. So it's all about demonstrating. It's all about finding out what you're doing wrong, what mistakes you're making, and then giving you a very easy to implement solution. And a lot of the time, it's not as complex as you might think it is, but it comes down to being aware of the mistake you're making. Most guys are not aware of the mistakes they're making. I know guys who they have a success rate from approaching of like 1 out of 50, 1 out of 100. Like, most girls are rejecting them or neglecting them, and they don't know why it is. They have no clue. And then I see them for 10 minutes and I already know something they've never thought about in their entire lives. That is the advantage of getting coaching. That is what is so powerful about it. It's that, as well as the insane amount of external leverage that you get. Because you are paying money, you are traveling, you are telling yourself that you are taking this seriously enough to get coaching. There is a mental shift that happens when you say, oh, I'm watching free pickup videos. Some people do great with that, but there's a big difference in saying, oh, I watched the free videos, and being someone who, I'm committed to make a change and I'm willing to get coaching. There is a serious difference in the mentality that happens once you make that decision, whether it's with me or with someone else. But when you get coaching, you're no longer a dabbler. You're telling yourself, I am taking this seriously. That is a mental shift that gets made. So when you come out, even if you've never approached a girl, even if you have extreme approach anxiety, and the idea of going up to a girl and saying, hey, I thought you were cute, that's like, you can't even imagine doing that. Or you've tried and you just can't do it. You can't do it again. I've had many clients who they were going out every week unable to approach. As soon as they take the boot camp, that changes immediately. They're able to approach within 10, 20, 30 minutes. The external leverage that taking a boot camp gives you is extremely powerful. It makes it very easy to go from someone who's barely taking any action to putting yourself out there 100%. To having a weekend where you do more in that weekend in terms of picking up women than the rest of your life. That's not 100% guaranteed, but the majority of people who take boot camps take more action in that one weekend, do more approaches, get more results in that one weekend than the rest of their life up to that point, because most people who watch pickup videos are still in the dabbler phase. They're still in the I'm watching content phase. They haven't gotten frustrated enough to step out of that, to just dive in. And taking a boot camp is an external way to force yourself to make that shift instead of waiting however many years it took me. It took me, let's say, I was 18. I tried approaching once, failed. Then 19, 20, I did nothing. 21, I started going out again haphazardly and didn't really get any results. And it was really about when I turned 22 that I had that shift and started going really hard. So it took about 4 years, and that's normal. Most guys, they watch pickup videos, never take action, then stop watching the videos and never get results. That's a lot of guys, right? They never go out and do approaches, but I was determined. So I watched the videos and productively procrastinated without approaching for a very long time. And then after 4 years, I finally started taking it seriously. But that's a long time, and that's not guaranteed. A lot of guys will just stay in the, I'm in my head, I can't do this. Look, I get that it's hard. I get that it's stressful, and that's why reaching out for help is so important, because once you do that, you can trust someone else's guidance and take a lot of that load off of yourself. And once you do that, you can get a sample of what really going hard looks like, of what taking action looks like, of what getting results looks like, of what your potential is. You'll see that you can actually approach 30, 40, 50 girls in a single night and likely bring one of them home with you and have a crazy hookup kind of experience that you'll remember for the rest of your life. That is entirely possible. And by seeing that that is possible, it'll change your mindset when you go back home. And not only that, when you take a bootcamp with me, you also get to join my mastermind group for 8 weeks. And this is something that I have not allowed people to join for quite some time. It's not something that is normally publicly available to join, but we do weekly calls. These are accountability calls where every member of the group talks about what they've been doing the last week, what results they've gotten. They'll share success stories. There was someone in the group last week who pulled 5 times. He actually got laid 5 times in 10 days, so it wasn't in 7 days, but he got laid 5 times, and he shared his story. This guy was not getting crazy results when he joined the group, but you see the progression. You see other people succeeding. There were multiple other guys who pulled twice. You see these success stories, and this is only a 30-person group right now. It's a very exclusive, tight-knit group. So it's not out of hundreds of people, there's a few success stories. No, there are many success stories, and it's a very high percentage of the members. And you get to be a part of this group, hearing other people's stories, hearing the action they're taking. You get brought up to their level emotionally and psychologically. It's the principle that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's what's at play here. So this group is not one of these dabbling general groups that you'll find on the internet where every member just complains about how they're not good looking enough and they don't approach and they don't get results and everyone just drags each other down. This is a paid exclusive group that when you take a boot camp, you get to join and you get to be a part of not only the accountability, like you get to tell your story and set your goals for each week, and we will hold you accountable to following through on those goals, which is very powerful in itself, but you also get to hear other people's success stories, other people's struggles and how they're overcoming them, and to be a part of that. And that is something that most people don't offer with their boot camps, but is very important because taking a boot camp can be a huge boost of momentum and motivation, and you get a lot of results. But the follow-up is equally as important. It's crucial that in the following weeks and months, you make going out and approaching women a habitual part of your life, that it's something that's normal to you. Maybe you get to a point where you only go out once a week because you have other things you'd rather do, but you got to make that shift where it's not a big deal to go out and approach a hot girl. Or whenever I see a hot girl, I approach her. And to make that shift takes some initial groundwork. It can take a month or 2 months or 3 months of building that habit. And once you have it, you have it. And that is something that I make sure that you get the opportunity to gain once you take a boot camp with me. It's not just one weekend, it's a long-term transformation. So this boot camp only has 5 spots available. It is completely personalized to you. I will find out what exactly is holding you back from getting the results you want. Maybe you're coming in too strong and making girls uncomfortable. Maybe you're coming in too weak. Maybe you don't hold strong enough eye contact. Maybe it's something about your vocal tonality. It's going to be one of several things that you're probably not aware of. I'm going to be able to find out what it is very quickly. And maybe it's a few major sticking points that you have. And I'm going to give you solutions to them and help you overcome those sticking points as efficiently as possible. And on top of that, you're also going to be doing more approaches than you ever thought were possible before. You're going to take so much action that your entire self-image of what you are capable of in terms of approaching women will be changed. You will never be able to think, oh, I can't approach. Oh, it's too hard. Oh, I can only do one. You're going to be doing so many approaches that your entire self-image of what you are capable of will be changed forever. So if this is something you're interested in, make sure to click the link below to schedule a free 15-minute call with me to find out if you're a good fit for the program. But keep in mind that the spots are very limited and I'll probably run out within 48 hours or so. That would be my guess. That's what's happened in the past. And if you're serious, you definitely want to come, then there's another link to send your deposit to guarantee that you get a spot. So if you send that deposit, then after that, also sign up for the free call, but you're guaranteed a spot in the boot camp. And during the call, we'll just talk about the logistics. We'll talk about preparing for the boot camp as opposed to whether or not it's a good fit for you. So if you're sure that you want to take the boot camp, you're determined that you want to get one of the spots before they run out, click the link below to my PayPal link, send $500. Once you send $500, the spot is guaranteed and you don't have to pay the rest until you meet me in person.